Before you scroll, before your mind drifts to the next thing, before another distraction takes this moment away, just stop for 1 minute. Listen, what if right now, in this exact second, this message is not sluchino appearing in your life? What if this is not just another video? What if this is God speaking directly to you? Are you really going to refuse me 1 minute? Just one. Not your whole day, not your schedule, not your plans, just 1 minute. I see how busy you've been. I see how your mind never rests, always thinking, always worrying, always trying to keep everything together. You wake up, and before your feet even touch the ground, your thoughts are already racing. What needs to be done? What might go wrong? What you forgot yesterday? What you must fix today? And the day hasn't even started yet. You tell yourself, I'll slow down later. I'll take a break when things calm down. I'll spend time with God when I have more time. But later never really comes, does it? Because something always takes its place. Another task, another notification, another problem, another worry, and without even realizing it, you give your time away to stress, to fear, to endless thinking. You give minutes, hours, entire days. But when it comes to me, you hesitate, even for 1 minute. So I ask you again, are you really going to refuse me 1 minute? If this message found you, it's not by accident. You didn't just click this. Something inside you paused. Something inside you felt this. And that feeling, that quiet pull, that's me. I am not here to pressure you. I am not here to judge you. I am not here to remind you of everything you've done wrong. I already know your struggles. I know the thoughts you don't tell anyone. I know the nights when you couldn't sleep. I know the weight you carry silently and still. I am here, waiting, not asking for perfection, not asking for long prayers, not asking for hours of your time, just 1 minute. 1 minute to breathe, 1 minute to be still, 1 minute to let everything fall quiet. Because the truth is, you're tired, not just physically, but deep inside. Your soul is tired. You've been holding so much together for so long, and no one really sees it. You keep showing up. You keep pushing forward. You keep pretending you're okay. But inside, you're overwhelmed. And in the middle of all that noise, you've forgotten what silence feels like. Not empty silence, but the kind of silence where you feel safe, where you don't have to prove anything, where you don't have to fix anything, where you can just be. That's what I'm offering you right now. Not religion, not pressure, not obligation. Peace. But peace requires one thing: your attention. Just 1 minute of it. So don't rush this moment. Don't skip ahead. Don't tell yourself, I'll come back later. Stay right here. And if you feel something, even just a little, if this message is touching something inside you, then before we go any further, take a second and subscribe to this channel. Not because you have to, but because maybe this is a place where your soul can rest. Now, take a breath. Slowly, again. Let everything else wait. Just for a moment. Because in the next part, I'm going to show you something you may not have realized. Something about your life, your time, your thoughts, that could change everything. But first, stay with me. Just 1 minute more. Stay with me. Don't rush away from this moment, because what I'm about to show you, you already feel it, but you haven't really faced it yet. You say you don't have time. You say your days are full. You say your life is too busy. But let me ask you something gently. Where's your time really going? Look at your day. From the moment you wake up to the moment you finally close your eyes at night, you move from one thing to another. Phone, messages, work, responsibilities, endless thoughts. And in between all of that, there are small moments. Moments where your hand reaches for your phone without even thinking. Moments where you scroll, not because you need to, but because you don't want to feel what's inside. Minutes turn into more minutes, then hours, and suddenly the day is gone. But tell me honestly, did any of it give you peace? You filled your time, but did it fill your soul? You see, you don't actually lack time. You lack stillness, because your mind has been trained to run, to jump from thought to thought, to solve everything, to prepare for everything, to expect something to go wrong, even when nothing is happening. Your mind is still working, still worrying, still replaying conversations, still imagining problems that haven't even happened. And that's exhausting. You carry conversations in your head that never happened. You replay mistakes. You can no longer change. You try to control outcomes that were never in your hands. And slowly, without noticing, your energy is being drained, not by your life, but by your thoughts. So when I ask you for 1 minute, it feels hard, not because you don't have it, but because being still feels unfamiliar. Silence feels uncomfortable to you now, because silence means you have to face what's inside. The thoughts you've been avoiding, the feelings you've been pushing down, the questions you don't want to ask. So instead, you stay busy. You stay distracted. You stay surrounded by noise, not because you're lazy, not because you don't care, but because you're trying to protect yourself. I understand that. I see that. But listen carefully. Everything you've been running from is already inside you. Avoiding it doesn't remove it. Distractions don't heal it. Noise doesn't silence it. It just waits, quietly, growing heavier. And that's why, even when your day ends, you still feel restless. You lie down. Your body is tired. But your mind, still awake, still thinking, still carrying everything. And you wonder, why do I feel like this? Why can't I just feel at peace? It's not because something is wrong with you. It's because you haven't given yourself space to breathe. You haven't given your soul a moment to be heard. And that's all I'm asking for. Not more effort, not more pressure, not more doing. Just a pause. 1 minute where you stop running. 1 minute where you stop fixing everything. 1 minute where you don't have to be strong. Because the truth is, you've been strong for too long. You've carried things you were never meant to carry alone. You've tried to control things that were never yours to control. And it's heavy. I know it is. But you don't have to keep holding it like this. Right now, in this moment, you have a choice. You can go back to the noise, to the provincial distractions, to the endless cycle, or you can stay here just a little longer, because what's coming next is not about your schedule, not about your time. It's about your heart, why you feel the way you feel, why something inside you feels distant, even when everything around you looks fine. And most importantly, why you've been feeling like something is missing, even when you can't explain what it is. Stay with me. We're going deeper now. Stay here. Don't pull away now. Because this is where things begin to soften inside you. You've been strong for so long that you don't even remember what it feels like to let your guard down. You smile when people look at you. You say, "I'm fine." You keep going. You keep showing up. But there are moments, quiet moments, when everything slows down just enough, and something inside you whispers, "This isn't how I want to feel anymore." And then you quickly distract yourself. You reach for your phone. You turn on something to watch. You think about what you need to do next, because sitting in that feeling is uncomfortable. Because if you stay there too long, you might have to face something real. The truth is, you're not afraid of silence. You're afraid of what silence might reveal. The emotions you've buried, the pain you've postponed, the questions you've been avoiding. Questions like, why do I feel so empty sometimes? Why do I feel alone, even around people? Why does everything feel heavy, even when nothing is wrong? You don't ask those questions out loud, but they are there, deep inside. And instead of listening, you learn to ignore them, not because you're weak, but because you didn't know what to do with them. So you kept moving. You kept pushing forward. You kept telling yourself, just get through today. And you did, again and again. But every time you ignore what's inside, it doesn't disappear. It waits, and over time, it turns into something you can't quite explain. A quiet heaviness, a distance, a feeling that something is missing. but you don't know what. And slowly, you begin to feel disconnected, not just from yourself, but from me. You start to wonder, where is God? Why don't I feel him anymore? Did I do something wrong? Listen to me carefully. You didn't lose me. I never left. Not for a second. Even in the moments you forgot about me, I was still there, watching over you, protecting you, walking with you, quietly. Even in your silence, I was listening. Even in your distance, I was near. But the noise, the constant movement, the endless distractions, they made it hard for you to notice. Not because I was far away, but because your world became too loud and your heart became too tired to listen. You see, connection with me was never meant to be complicated. It was never about saying the perfect words, never about being perfect, never about doing everything right. It was always about this: a moment, a pause, a turning back. That's it. And that's why. This 1 minute matters more than you think. Because in 1 minute of stillness, you begin to feel again. Not the noise, not the pressure, not the fear, but peace. A quiet kind of peace. That doesn't come from fixing your life, but from letting go for a moment. And in that space, something begins to shift. Your breathing slows, your thoughts soften, your heart opens just a little. And suddenly, you're not carrying everything alone anymore, because I'm there. I've always been there, waiting, not with judgment, but with gentleness. You don't have to explain everything to me. You don't have to figure everything out. You don't have to be strong right now. You can just be. And in that being, healing begins. Not all at once. Not dramatically, but quietly. Like light slowly entering a dark room. Like a weight gently being lifted, piece by piece. That's what you've been needing. Not more effort, not more control, but a moment to stop, to breathe, to return. So, if you've been feeling distant, if you've been feeling empty, if you've been feeling tired in a way that rest doesn't fix, this is why. Not because something is broken in you, but because your soul has been waiting for you to come back. And you're here now, still listening, still present. That means something. So don't leave yet, because in the next part, I'm going to show you something simple, something real, something you can actually do. Not tomorrow, not someday, but right now. Something that can begin to change how you feel, starting from this very moment. Stay with me just a little longer. Stay with me just a little longer. Because this moment, right here, this is where everything can begin to change. Not your whole life at once, not everything you're going through, just this moment. You've heard me. You've felt something. Even if it was small, even if you don't fully understand it, You didn't leave, and that matters, because now you're standing at a quiet turning point. Not dramatic, not loud, but real. And here's the truth. Change doesn't begin with big decisions. It begins with one small moment that you choose differently. So, I'm going to ask you again, not to pressure you, not to test you, but to invite you. Will you give me 1 minute right now? Not later, not after this video. Now, if you can, close your eyes. If not, just soften your gaze. Take a slow breath in, hold it gently, and release. Again, slowly. Let your shoulders drop. Let your thoughts slow down. You don't have to fix anything right now. You don't have to solve anything. Just be here. And in this quiet, I want you to hear this. You are not alone. Not in your confusion. Not in your stress. Not in your silence. I am here. Closer than you think. Closer than your worries. Closer than your fears. You don't have to reach far. You don't have to try hard. Just notice. Notice the stillness. Notice your breath. Notice this moment where nothing is demanding anything from you. This is where peace begins. Not outside, not later. Here, now, and maybe for the first time in a long time, you feel it. A small shift, a little space inside your chest, a quietness that wasn't there before. That's not your imagination. That's what happens when you stop running and listen carefully. This is only 1 minute, just one. And already, something inside you is changing. So imagine, what happens when you do this again? Tomorrow morning, before your phone, before your thoughts take over, just 1 minute, or in the middle of your day, when everything feels overwhelming. Pause, breathe, return. Or at night, when your mind won't stop. Instead of fighting your thoughts, step away from them. Come back to this. 1 minute. You don't need to do it perfectly. You don't need to feel something every time. Just show up. Because every time you do, you come back to yourself, and you come back to me. Slowly, gently, without pressure. This is how your life begins to change, not all at once, but moment by moment, minute by minute. Peace doesn't arrive all at once. It grows, and it starts here. With 1 minute, you chose not to refuse. So thank you for staying. And if this moment meant something to you, if you felt even a small sense of peace, stay connected. Subscribe to this channel so that whenever your world feels loud again, you have a place to return to, a place where you can pause, a place where you can breathe, a place where you can remember you're not alone. And before you go, take one more breath. Slowly, hold it, and release. You're going to be okay. I'm with you. always